It was a day like any other at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. The coffee was brewing, and the low hum of computers filled the air. For decades we had listened to the faint signals from Voyager 2, a tiny voice whispering across billions of miles of space. But on July 21st, 2025, the whisper changed. It was the final transmission we would ever receive. The signal was weak, as always, travelling for more than 22 hours to reach us. The data began to stream in, just as it had for nearly half a century. We saw the familiar telemetry, the health status of a machine older than many of the scientists watching the screens. But then something new appeared, a pattern that was not in its programming, a sequence that was not from us. The data stream stopped, the carrier signal went flat. It was gone. The silence was profound, heavier than any sound. We had sent a message in a bottle into the cosmic sea. We knew this day would come, but we were not prepared for how it would end. The final whisper was not one of dying batteries, but of something else entirely. The team checked and rechecked their instruments. Every test came back clear. The final packet of information was complete, and it was unambiguous. Voyager 2 had sent us one last terrifying puzzle. To understand the weight of that final message, we must go back. The year was 1977. The Voyager program was born. Two spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, were designed for a mission of incredible ambition. A grand tour of the outer solar system, taking advantage of a rare planetary alignment. Voyager 2 launched first on August 20th, 1977. It was a marvel of engineering for its time. On board it carried a collection of scientific instruments and a golden record. The golden record was a message to any civilization that might find our probe. It contained sounds and images portraying the diversity of life on Earth. The mission was a gamble. No spacecraft had ever travelled so far or for so long. Engineers programmed its trajectory with incredible precision. It was a cosmic game of billiards, played across billions of miles. And so, with a roar of fire and a cloud of smoke, Voyager 2 left its home forever, destined for the stars. The journey had begun. The first stop on this incredible journey was Jupiter, the king of the planets. When Voyager 2 arrived in 1979, it gave us our best look yet at this turbulent world. The images it sent back were breathtaking. We saw swirling clouds and the Great Red Spot, a storm larger than Earth. Voyager 2 didn't just look at Jupiter, it studied it. Its instruments measured the planet's powerful magnetic field. It discovered several new moons. But perhaps its most stunning discovery was at Io, one of Jupiter's largest moons. Instead of a cratered frozen world, Voyager 2 saw active volcanoes. This discovery changed everything. It showed us that even in the cold, outer reaches of the solar system, there could be heat and geological activity. The Grand Tour was already rewriting the textbooks. After its encounter with Jupiter, Voyager 2 used the planet's gravity to bend its path towards Saturn. The journey continued into the deep dark. 2 years later, in 1981, Voyager 2 arrived at Saturn. If Jupiter was the king, Saturn was the queen, adorned with a system of rings. Voyager 2 showed us their true nature. They were composed of countless particles of ice and rock, a blizzard in slow motion. Voyager 2 revealed the incredible structure within the rings. It discovered tiny shepherd moons that keep the rings in line. The rings were a dynamic, ever-changing system. The spacecraft also turned its attention to Saturn's moons, particularly Titan. Voyager 2's instruments pierced through Titan's orange haze. It found an atmosphere denser than Earth's, made mostly of nitrogen. Could there be liquid on the surface? Perhaps liquid methane or ethane? The encounter with Saturn provided another gravity assist. It left behind the stunning rings and the mysterious world of Titan. The next target was a strange, tilted world. The journey continued. The journey from Saturn to Uranus was long and lonely. By January 1986, Voyager 2 was nearly 2 billion miles from home. Uranus was a true mystery, an ice giant with a peculiar tilt. Voyager 2's flyby was brief but revolutionary. It gave us our first close-up look at this bizarre world. A pale blue-green orb, almost featureless, but its instruments detected a strange magnetic field. The spacecraft also discovered 10 new moons and studied the planet's faint rings. The most fascinating discoveries came from the moons. The moon Miranda was a shock, a geological scrapbook of a violent history. The Uranus encounter was a triumph of engineering and navigation. After its flyby, Voyager 2 used a planet's gravity to slingshot toward its final target. It had unveiled the secrets of the sideways planet. Now it was headed for Neptune. In August 1989, Voyager 2 reached its final planetary destination, Neptune, a world of deep blue and furious winds. Voyager 2 discovered the fastest winds in the solar system. It saw a massive storm system, the Great Dark Spot. The deep blue colour of Neptune was a surprise. Voyager 2 also discovered faint rings around the planet. The discoveries at Neptune's largest moon, Triton, were stunning. Triton orbits Neptune backwards. Despite its cold surface, Triton was geologically active. Voyager 2 photographed dark plumes of nitrogen gas erupting from its surface. The Neptune flyby marked the end of the Grand Tour. Voyager 2 had visited 4 giant planets and dozens of moons. It had completed its primary mission with flawless success. With one final gravitational nudge, it was flung into interstellar space. The journey continued into the great unknown. For the next 36 years, Voyager 2 continued its journey. It crossed the heliopause, entering the space between the stars. Its instruments were now tasting the thin gas and dust of the galaxy. The signals grew fainter, but our radio dishes still heard its tiny voice. We knew its power source was slowly decaying. One by one, we turned off its instruments. We expected the signal to fade away. But that is not what happened. On that day in July 2025, the final transmission was a burst of structured information. It was not random noise. The data packet was perfectly formed, but its contents were alien. It was as if something had taken control of the transmitter. The message was short, lasting only a few seconds. But in those seconds, it transmitted more data than in the previous year. The silence that followed was filled with the echo of that impossible message. What was in that final message? The truth is, we don't fully know. The world's best cryptographers and mathematicians are studying it. The pattern appears to be a form of three-dimensional data mapping. Some see stellar coordinates, others see complex biological structures. The one thing everyone agrees on is that it is not random, it is intelligent. The implications are staggering. Did Voyager 2 encounter a natural phenomenon, or did something else happen? The golden record on board was a message from us. Did someone finally hear us? Did they use our probe to send a reply? A message sent not with malice, but perhaps with cosmic irony. The end of Voyager 2's journey is not an ending at all. It is a new beginning, a beginning of a profound and unsettling mystery. It reminds us that the universe is not just vast and empty. It is also strange and full of possibilities. The legacy of Voyager 2 is this final, terrifying whisper from the void, a puzzle that may take us generations to solve. The universe is waiting.